込めろ。
手足を動かせ。
限界なんか
超えてやる。私は師匠の弟子フラン。
I don't think that the white owl that we saw at the end of this episode is inherently bad. And this might simply be my bias to anything bask and bathing in beautiful light and sunlight and glowing, but it doesn't seem inherently bad. So although they did reference this as a Majin or a monster, I don't necessarily think that this owl is a monster. Now, could it very well be the one kind of controlling and manipulating everything? It definitely could be, because obviously this was a trap that was set. Now, who the trap was set for, I don't quite know. We have to assume it was either A, Amanda, or B, it was actually intended to trap Fran and get her out the picture. Now, the person that I've been suspecting this entire time has been the elf that's been in their party, just because he's been so... promiscuous isn't the right word, but he's been so suspicious, I guess, is the right word that I'd be looking for. Is he has built up enough moments of suspicion intentionally, and they want us to kind of point our direction towards being suspicious of him. Now, I think that he definitely knows more than he's laying on. I don't inherently think that he's bad either, so I think it's just clever misdirection. I think there is a bigger person out there that maybe he has an idea of who it is or something of that nature, but I don't really think that he's the guy. But, you know, at the end of the day, there are a lot of suspicious moments that he has curated throughout the last few episodes since he's been introduced, so he very well could be the person that is kind of making all of these things occur. Very interested in the owl stuff. Now, the rest of the episode, I'll just kind of sum it up as this. Fran gets put into this spider dungeon. She realizes her own mortality and her own weakness. She does her best to overcome it. For the most part, she's able to overcome that and at very least protect the other two people that were with her, Bane and the other guy. And she was able to accomplish that. So that is a huge feat that she was able to do that out of just sheer pure will. Right before SHISHOU was able to come to her saving. The main thing this episode did, and I don't think this was like the best episode, it was a good, solid episode, but the main thing it did was it satiated and finally answered the main question that I've been really wanting to know since the moment it got introduced, and that is kin summon. The kin summon ability was an ability or skill that SHISHOU obtained after they fought, I believe after they fought the Greater Demon. Or maybe it was right before that, but they fought either the Greater Demon or one of the last demons or whatever, and he gained the ability Kin Summon. Now, with that, I don't know what kin, when I think Kin Summon, if I were to summon kin, my kin would be my children, right? So if I were to think that, oh, okay, Charizard over there is going to summon kin, I would assume that he would summon Charmeleon or Charmander, right? Because that would be his kin. Well, it comes to find out that this kin summon just ends up being a very generalistic summon, as opposed to something that's specific to him. I'm a little bit disappointed in that because they could have just called it a summon ability. At the end of the day, I guess, SHISHOU is classified as one of two things. He's classified either as a intelligence weapon or he's classified as a monster. And I'm going to lean more towards monster because him being a monster, would be him summoning a monster, which is what he did. I still kind of have a little issue with that, as I think they should have just named this greater summon. Just basically say it's a summon ability and left off the kin part, because again, kin references something that's specific to you, right? I was thinking this whole entire time when he finally summoned his kin, he would either summon a person that looked like him in his past life, or multiple people that looked like him in his past life. He would summon, swords or other intelligence weapons, but instead he summoned a wolf, right? Now, the announcer that he called upon, the word of the world, or whatever you want to call it, the announcer that he called upon basically gave him a list of all kinds of things that he could summon, and wolf being one of them, and different types of wolves. He summoned an onyx wolf. He was able to evolve the onyx wolf by giving it a name, just like Reincarnated as a slime, that anime before. Giving a name to your familiar basically causes it to evolve. Totally makes sense. Very anime, very normalistic things. He does that. It turns it to a darkness wolf. He names it Urushi. Very cute. Really like it a lot. We now got a wolf character. that is a companion for Fran and for SHISHOU. So that's one more thing that can protect Fran as she goes on adventures. Because at the end of the day, it's really just her and SHISHOU. Now they have Arushi and potentially a different kin that he can also summon later on. So I really, I enjoy the fact that they got a wolf. I love the wolf characters. I tend to gravitate towards them in anime, just like I did with Slime. I really love that quite a bit. But at the end of the day, I'm a little disappointed at the specificity towards kin and kin summon. It just kind of bothers me a little bit. But at the end of the day, I'm just going to let it go and say, hey, we got a really cool wolf out of this. But at the end of the day, she pushes past her limits. And then SHISHOU pushes past his limits as well. I love when he goes plus ultra, though that animation that they decided to do when he gets like all fiery and he gets really cool. I absolutely love it. I think that is top notch. I think that is 12 out of 10 kind of material here. That is the Sakuga that I signed up for when it comes into anime. And I really love that they're able to pull that off here. And considering he's just a sword and they're able to pull off this really badass going plus ultra past your limits type moment for a sword is really, really cool. So he's able to save her. That's really cool. And then the last thing that I'll touch on is Amanda finally knows her secret and his secret because he had to kind of break the news to her. He did that via telepathy or telepathy, however you want to say the word. And he ends up having to get outed because the wolf was trying to attack their master, which was him. So now she kind of knows all their dirty laundry, but now they've gained a companion. So now, as far as companions go outside of the two, we now have the troll or the dwarf. Troll. We now have the dwarf, and now we have Amanda, and then obviously we have Arushi as a actual familiar for them both. So really good episode overall. Really enjoyed it. Again, not the best episode ever. A good, solid episode. Really good sword Sakuga. Really good that we finally got to see another companion in Amanda, and we finally got to see the kin summon ability, although I really was disappointed in what ended up coming of that ability. I was a little bit let down. But overall, 7 out of 10 episode. Really good episode for me. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. Let me know if you were also disappointed in the kin summon stuff. Let me know if you're just cool with it because, hey, we got a really badass wolf. And let me know anything else you guys want to say in the comments below. As always, I appreciate you being here another week, and I'll see you next week. Peace.